This is the first in a series of a Prepper Potpourri bookshelf, and today we're going to review the Prepper Pages. The main title of this book, The Prepper Pages, really doesn't give you much information on what it's about. However, the rest of the title does. It is a surgeon's guide to scavenging items from a medical kit and putting them to use while bugging out. It's a pretty conclusive title. You can buy the Prepper Pages as a paperback. It's available on Amazon for $15.26, or you can get the Kindle version for only $6.99. The author of the Prepper Pages is Dr. Ryan Chamberlin. When I first saw the book, I said, wait a minute, was this written by a chiropractor? Because generally, physicians do not refer to themselves as doctor when they publish. It is their name plus their credentials, be it DO or MD. Anyway, I did a little more research, and Ryan Chamberlin is indeed a doctor. He's a DO, primary care physician, and a general surgeon. And also, he is a professor of biomedical sciences and a consciousness researcher. He also has his own YouTube channel under Ryan Chamberlin. There are a lot of excellent videos here on how to practice suturing with a pig foot, of course, and how to control bleeding, knot tying, various other procedures. This is really a nice supplement to the book itself, because some things need to be shown rather than just read about. The Prepper Pages appears to be self-published in 2013. For a self-published work, it was pretty professional. I only found a few minor typos and page spacing issues. The scope of this book is explained on the back page of the book. It says whether you're buying items to build a comprehensive medical kit or have found yourself in a disaster without one, this book will teach you exactly what you need to do. Even the most prepared can find themselves away from their supplies, but preppers are proactive by nature, and this guide instructs them in high-yield tricks and treatments leading to medical self-sufficiency in the field. Most necessary medical instruments and supplies can be improvised from items found in most homes. So was this book successful in its goals? I'll give you my opinion. When I first started reading this book, it reminded me of a scene from one of my favorite TV shows, which is The Walking Dead. In The Walking Dead, the main characters were going home to home scavenging items for use. In The Walking Dead's case, it was mainly food and baby formula. In the Prepper Pages, it's scavenging items to use for a makeshift medical kit. Now, when I say scavenging, I'm really meaning looting, and this would only be in dire circumstances. But it talks about anything from taking coffee filters from the kitchen to an X-Acto knife from the craft room. In fact, in the back here, in Appendix A, there is a Things to Collect section, which goes room by room of various items that you could get from each room, such as the laundry room, the kitchen, the bathroom, etc. Most of these items, however, are pretty common sense. I think you know bleach from the laundry room and duct tape from the garage or basement. So while the scavenging slant in this is pretty novel, I feel that most of the standard medical information is what is of value. The book covers a very, very wide range of medical treatment, including wound care, burns, heat stroke, hypothermia, frostbite, gangrene, sprains, fractures, poisonous bites, wound care, did I already say that? Wound care, cellulitis, eye injuries, and common infections. It is evident that Dr. Chamberlin really likes suturing and likes to teach others how to suture. A lot of time is spent in this book on suturing, and there are appendices in the back covering various types of sutures. Much of the information in the book I was already aware of. However, I was still able to garner new information. In fact, this book shed light on personal family information. My grandparents were homesteaders in North Dakota at the turn of the century. In fact, that's where my mother was born. And my grandfather got a very, very serious gunshot wound, and he was even bleeding all the way through the mattress, and my grandmother poured sugar in the wound. We all thought that helped save his life by congealing the blood, but I learned in this book that really sugar is the same as honey, and it will fight wound infection. So it took a full day for his brother-in-law to get a doctor to come to the home, and obviously my grandfather did live, but it was kind of a neat family history, and I learned other people use sugar too. There are positives and negatives in this book. The positives: it covers a very wide range of disease and trauma, expansive suture information. It kind of has a MacGyver attitude to get items for your medical kit. I give him credit for, he's really slandered this just for preppers, because most people who write these types of books try to also market to the outdoor enthusiasts for a bigger audience. And it's a novel approach by using the scavenging idea. Now the negatives I felt are, it's pretty large for your BOB, but that's okay. It can be on your bookshelf instead. The illustrations are pretty small, and by the author's own admission, he was using Google image, and so he could freely use the images, and it really would have been helpful if they were a different size. The room looting inventory I thought was a bit lacking. It starts out kind of strong and then kind of wanes. Just very quickly, bathroom, it doesn't mention feminine hygiene pads or tampons, which we all know are good use for bandages. In the kitchen, it doesn't mention sugar and salt for oral rehydration solution, nor does it mention a pressure cooker to grab one, even though it does state in this book how to sanitize your medical instruments using a pressure cooker. In the garage, it doesn't talk about getting the painter's plastic that you could use to make a quarantine room to bite off areas, or tarps for a makeshift gurney. And it doesn't mention a nursery at all, and we all know disposable diapers are very absorbent and also good for bandaging. And you could use the bottle liners for irrigation of a wound, and baby wipes. In the pet area, a cat flea comb can be used to treat lice, and there might be also medications in the pet area. And there could be the common houseplant aloe vera to help with burn care. So I'm sure all of you can think of many, many other items that could be found in a typical home that isn't in this appendix, which I kind of find fault with. Many treatments need drugs that he's mentioning. They need anesthesia, or I should say anesthetics or antibiotics, and that kind of goes against the MacGyver, I think, idea of the book, but I think it's being realistic. In many cases, without those, we will be unable to treat many things. The tone is a bit playful. It's okay, but it just doesn't seem to be consistent. But again, that might be just me. One of the things is it lacks an index. If you got the Kindle version, there's no problem because you have electronic search function. But let's say you wanted to look up ringworm. Well, there's no way to find it because there's no index unless you knew where to find it. It is actually on page 171, but it is in the, let's see if we can get it up here, the Insects and Arachnids chapter. Now, we all know ringworm is a fungus. It is not an insect or arachnid. I believe Dr. Chamberlin mentioned that it was a fungus. I just think he ran out of chapters, wasn't sure where to put this information. But again, it can be hard to find something quick without an index in the paperback version. I'm going to give this 3.5 squirrels out of 5. I think it's a good basic text. Seems to be medical accurate, although I am not a medical professional to evaluate that. I don't think it fully lives up to the medical MacGyver expectations that I got from the back cover. However, I believe it is a good addition to any prepper bookshelf. And if you read the prepper pages, please let me know what you think. This is Prepper Potpourri saying subscribe and share the knowledge. Thank you so much for watching.